We're back with the Screen Team right here on KWOC. We are all over social media, so if you want to check us out, we are on Facebook. We've got our very own Screen Team YouTube channel. We're on Twitter as well, and you can also check us out on our official website at screenteampb.com. Being joined by Jamie for this next review, and we're getting ready to review a movie that honestly is probably one of my favorite movies of the entire year. It's called Baby Driver. Jamie, this was a movie from the very beginning. You're like, man, when you saw the preview, you're like, we got to see this, man. We got to do it. Because you love Edgar Wright, right?
Yeah, I'm a big Edgar Wright fan, going all the way back to his TV show, Spaced, that he was...
I didn't know he did a TV.
Yeah.
Really?
This is going way back. It's one of the first things Simon Pegg was ever known for.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like a kind of a weird sitcom, buddy roommate kind of comedy, but it's kind of strange. It had some weird elements to it where, like, you get to meet the neighbors, and there's and they didn't really fit the regular types that you see on a lot of those kind of sitcoms.
Yeah.
And so it was a pretty interesting show. And then from there they went on to make Hot Fuzz and
Shaun of the Dead
and things like that, World's End. So
yeah, it's interesting because Edgar made those films, and then he kind of got his, I don't want to say big break, but he was signed on to do Ant-Man for the Marvel film, and I guess some collision and some differences collided or whatever, and they took him off Ant-Man, and he decided to do this one, and I'm glad he
if I ever meet him, I want to hear that story, because nobody's ever really told that story of why he was taken off of Ant-Man.
Yeah,
I think he would have done a great job. But
I agree,
just because I think he's a good director overall.
Yeah,
he can do comedy, he can do serious stuff. So
yeah, this movie is a lot of different things meshed into one. It's a heist movie. It's a gangster film. It's got elements of comedy in it. It's got great music, great soundtrack in it. It's
and it even is like a little bit of a couples movie. It's a romantic movie too. So, but all that's interweaved where you have to, it's all part of one big story. So
our main character, his name is Baby, right? What's his deal? What's his goal in the movie? What's going on?
He's an excellent getaway driver, to put it simply. And so this one, mega rich guy that rips people off, that's his go-to guy to be the getaway driver. And they don't waste any time. They get right into it. The intro to the movie is, here's him driving like a maniac, getting them out of a situation, and it's like, okay, here we go. I really didn't know how they were going to start it out. I've tried not to read much about it online, because there's some articles about the stunts and the things, because there's a ton of car stuff in this, and about how the way they put it all together. Because Edgar Wright evidently has been working on this movie, in his mind, off and on for 20 years.
Oh, really? I didn't know it was that long.
Even before he did the other stuff. Yeah.
Really?
So,
that from that very first scene, it's, I remember just laughing out loud, because, from the very first scene, you see the bank robbers going to do their thing, but all the attention is focused on Baby, and he's got his music ready, and he's just singing this killer, track in the very beginning, doing all this goofy stuff, and it's funny. You're in there. You're engrossed into the film. You're engrossed into Baby, and it's just it's different. It's fun. It's exciting. You're on the edge of your seat, kind of kind of thrills, and so you're hooked from the very beginning all the way through, and that's what I really, really enjoyed about the film. We got a lot of superstars in this film. We got Kevin Spacey, Jamie Foxx, Lily, John Hamm's in it as well. What'd you think about the soundtrack of this film? Because I enjoyed it, man.
It was just, for lack of a better term, amazing. Because everything musical in this movie fit something in the movie, and that's the way that Edgar kind of laid it all out. Because when you watch the credits at the end, there's 30 songs, and you're like, that soundtrack's gonna be a double album. If you want to count it that way. And I think there is an actual vinyl version of the soundtrack that you can get.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, it's music's a big part of it, simply because he's got the earbuds in all the time, the driver, Baby, and so that's another big element that's woven through the whole story, is the music matters because it's part of the story.
Yeah.
And I love when he has to like rewind. They're bickering. The robbers are bickering, and he has to rewind. He goes, "Hang on," and he rewinds the track. Go, because he times it all out to the music.
Yeah, it's really, really brilliant. There was this. You talked about perfect music in each scene. You know, there's this one scene where like, what's Baby listening to? And they pop it out, and he's like, he's listening to Egyptian techno music or something. And you're like, I don't know what that is, but I like the way it sounded, you know? So many good scenes. And, you know, I'm going to have to go on IMDb and just look to see what was all on the soundtrack so I can, you know.
Make your own mixtape?
Make my own mixtape for sure.
Yeah,
sure.
If it's not on Spotify, you have to go there and like make your own Spotify list or something.
There's a lot of tension in this film as far as the fact that a lot of the other people doing the heist don't trust Baby because he doesn't have that typical gangster type of look and feel about him, you know?
Yeah.
You know, what drives him, you know, besides the, you know, it's a bad pun as far as, you know, what drives him? What, you know, it's not about money for him. It's, you know, he seems a little off, and that puts some tension with a lot of the other bank robbers.
Yeah.
So movie's rated R, I think. Yeah, rated R. So it's got language in it. It's got a lot of some violence in it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What did you think of some of the other side characters? Were you invested with them like you were with Baby?
To a degree. I really wanted to find out what Buddy's real name was. John Hamm's character. I follow Edgar Wright on Twitter, and he actually made a comment one day about look for Buddy's name kind of stuck in there somewhere. And you do hear it. You do hear his actual name one time.
Yeah.
So
do you have any?
That's something worth like, you know, that's another like what they call, I guess, an Easter egg, you know?
Yeah.
So
do you have any favorite scenes from the movie?
Holy cow. I'm still kind of digesting it since we saw it today.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to buy this on Blu-ray when it comes out so I can like just watch it over and over and over. You know?
Have your own headphones on.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I mean, I guess I really liked the way that they put the scene together where, well, you know, it's a simple scene where he meets her and it's, I don't know how to describe it.
You know, I really enjoyed their chemistry.
Yeah.
I can't think of his last name, but his first name's Ansel, the name of the actor.
Yeah.
And the actress's name is Lily James. She was from the Downton Abbey series, and you know,
okay.
they just really hit it off. You know,
she reminded me a lot of Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Yeah, I
like
could see that.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah,
you know, that stuff. Just the way that she carried herself, and you know the way she kind of portrayed this character.
Yeah.
And you know, so I don't know. I like that scene when they met, and all the scenes that they had together were really nice. You know, because it was like it took you out of the other stuff just enough. You know, to focus on them, and then like where the boss shows up, you know. Then the two worlds kind of go together again, and you're like, now it's going to get serious.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's hard to pick out an action sequence in this because they're all great.
Yeah.
You know, so
one of my favorite scenes was the scene that was right after the first car chase. Baby goes to get coffee for the gang, and he's just dancing around, and I just love the way that Edgar shot that. It was cool, it was colorful, it was creative. I had to check it out again, but it looked like it was done in one take. I don't think it was, but it just looked.
Yeah, it kind of looked like it was.
It had that feeling where it was the camera was just on him the entire time.
Yeah,
you know?
And if you've ever been to Atlanta more than once, you'll recognize parts of Atlanta in this. I used to live near there.
Oh, really?
20 years ago.
I didn't know that.
And yeah, I spent a bit of time downtown, and it's like, oh, that's neat. I remember that, and you know, certain buildings and stuff like that. So they'd show. Some of the street signs. It's like, oh, I drove down that street a zillion times.
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat to have that connection to it too. You know?
There's talk that a sequel is in the works. Would you support that?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how they'd really do it, but it'd probably be pretty interesting. You know.
Yeah. All right, the movie's called Baby Driver. It's one of my favorite of the year. Jamie, you think so? You like it?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, if you get a chance, definitely check it out. It's called Baby Driver. Coming up next, we're going to be joined by Sabrina. We're going to be reviewing the Burt Reynolds, Dolly Parton film, The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. We'll get to it next right here on the Screen Team.